منحة لأصحاب المحلات في مدينة الكاهون. هذه المنحة تصل إلى حد 15,000. آخر موعد للتقديم هو 3 من شهر 8 2021، وبها اختيارين: يا أما توظفون أشخاص تأخذون 5,000 لكل شخص لحد 3 أشخاص. الاختيار به هو إجراء تطوير المحل أو شراء معدات أو أثاث. ممكن تقدمون على اختيارين سوية للمحلات داخل الكاهون حصرا مع إجازة عمل صادرة من المدينة. لا يمكن الأعمال داخل المنزل التقديم. فهذه المعلومات خاصة بمنحة أصحاب المحلات في مدينة الكاهون. اللي يحب يقدم عليها هذه المعلومات هي خاصة. راح يكون عندنا شرح تفصيلي بهذا الفيديو. راح نتكلم عن هذه المنحة اللي هي رقم 2. فهذا الفيديو مالتنا اليوم راح ينقسم ل3 أقسام. أول مرة شرح بالعربي عن المنحة والمؤهلات، بعدها عضو المجلس الحكومي اللي هو السيتي كونسل ممبر راح يكون ويانا، بعد شوية راح يتكلم لنا عن المنحة، وبالأخير استضافت موظف المسؤول على المنحة حتى يشرح لجماعتنا للمحلات مالتنا جاليتنا بمدينة الكاهون بالضبط شلون يقدمون على هذا الابليكيشن. مثل ما تعرفون هي صفحة أمريكا بالعربي. احنا صراحة بديناها هدفنا انه احنا نساعد الجالية بالأزمة القديمة اللي صارت، والحمد لله شوية شوية عدت. وبنفس الوقت دائما نحب ندعم المشاريع الصغيرة والبزنس مال جاليتنا، لأن احنا نؤمن بأن البزنس مال جاليتنا هو مفيد لنا كجالية بصورة عامة. فإن شاء الله أنه الكل يستفاد من هذه الابليكيشن وشون يقدم عليها وشون يحصل. فهذه المسألة مهمة لأصحاب المحلات والبزنس في مدينة الكاهون، وإن شاء الله يكونوا مستفادين من عندها بالتقديم ويحصلون. احنا أو قبل فترة صارت منحة مدينة الكاهون وهواية قدموا عليها وشرحناها هنا بالصفحة. كل اللي قدموا عليها تقريبا حصلوا المسألة. أعتقد أنه أكو فد غلطة عندي هنا بهذا الحرف. المهم، فعندنا شرح أول مرة، بعدين أنه الجزء الجزء الأول بالعربي هسه حكيته. بقى الجزئين الباقيات اللقاءات راح تكون بالإنجليزي، لأن أنا هدفي هو أنه اللي يريدون يقدمون على المنحة والمحاسبين مالتهم يفتهمون التفاصيل بالضبط حتى يساعدون الناس انه يقدمون على المنحة. يعني هذا الفيديو الجزء الاخ هو لاصحاب المحلات فقط، وللمحاسبين اللي عندنا بالمنطقة جبت لهم كل المعلومات حتى انه يقدرون يساعدون السمول بزنس بالجالية مالتنا. فهذه المعلومات يعني راح تكون خاصة فقط لاصحاب المحلات في مدينة الكاهون، وإن شاء الله راح نرجع فيديوهات نحكي على كل شيء موجود بباقي الولايات. فأول واحد شخص راح يتكلم ويانا هو العضو المجلس البلدي الحكومي مدينة الكاهون اللي هو في الأورتيز. راح يتكلم لنا على بعض المعلومات عن هذه المنحة، ونتمنى أي واحد يعرف أي أبو بزنس بالكاهون ممكن يسوي له شير لهذا الفيديو حتى يستفاد من عنده. فبالبداية راح نبدي ويا لقاء، راح يكون لقاء ويا في الأورتيز اللي هو أحد أعضاء المجلس الحكومي المدينة الكاهون، وإن شاء الله أنه تستفادون من معلومات اللي راح يقدمها لنا حاليا. Good afternoon, Council Member Ortiz, and thank you very much for being in our daily podcast. You wanted to add more details and clarifications to our community. So please let us know about this program.
Yes, thank you, Mohammed, for allowing me to speak. I want to make sure I get this information out to the Middle Eastern community. They're a big part of our community here in El Cajon. As business owners, you contribute to our community, and so we appreciate that. And so what we've received is about $5 million for business grants to El Cajon businesses. We previously designated $2.5 million for business grants, and I know a lot of you applied and actually received money. And now we have a second round of business grants, double the amount. So this grant, the first grant was intended to help you survive through the shutdown, the COVID, the lockdown, since businesses had to shut down. That was to help you survive. This next round is to help you grow. we're coming out of the lockdown and the pandemic, and the vaccines are out there. So now the city council and the mayor and myself thought, what can we do to help businesses grow? So there's two types of grants that we're giving away. One is for what we call capital improvements. And so that's going to be money for you to paint the exterior of your business, or buy a new sign, or redo the carpets in your business, or paint the walls, or whatever you choose. The second round is to help you hire new employees. That's the second type of grant. And that's going to be up to 3 employees. For each employee you hire and they stay hired, you will get $5,000. So we're really looking to help our businesses build and get to a strong point. I know we've all suffered, but God willing, we're going to come out of this even stronger.
The application deadline is August 3rd, and this is what I would like to note to our business owners and people who would like to apply. So I have a couple questions that I hope that you have some answers or clarification. So basically, this is for only businesses with business license that are active by March 1st, correct?
Yes, that's correct. So in order to apply, you must be in the city of El Cajon, in the city proper, and our city staff can help you to determine if your business is actually within the city limits. And you have to have a business license with the city of El Cajon. And unfortunately, we're only able to help businesses that have a storefront. Home-based businesses are not eligible. So if you run your business out of your home, we're not able to facilitate getting money to you. Where the money is going to be designated for people who have a storefront, and we want to make sure they're able to improve the outside of their business to make it look more appealing, do a facelift to it, so to speak, and attract more customers.
Okay, so talking about businesses at home, does childcare with business license are considered in this grant or not?
Childcare could be considered if they have a business license, and it has to be in a commercially zoned area. And I know we're getting into the specifics a lot, and our staff members can really explain it better than I can. But it can't be in a residential area where homes are or apartments are. If your business is a daycare facility and it's a residential home, then right now we're not able to help them. But I would talk with staff members, talk with the city, and see if your home qualifies or if your business qualifies, because we do have some businesses in residential areas or right next to residential areas. So that's a very key component to make sure that you understand where your home lies.
Okay, so city staff can help businesses to know if the zone is commercial or residential.
Correct.
I believe the last time you were on our show was during the election. And
yes.
I believe this is where we remember that you kind of promised to assist small businesses in all El Cajon and make better outreach to the Middle Eastern businesses. And since then, I believe this is the second grant that the city is offering. The first one, everyone who applied for the grant from all community sectors got the grant. Can you please talk about this?
Yes. So, like I said, when I was on your show, I said I wanted to get out to the community and help small businesses. Small businesses are really the backbone of El Cajon. They are vital and they are very important. And so I want to come on your show and let your listeners and viewers know to come apply again. This is very important, and we can't have any other businesses closing down. We want to make sure that the word gets out. I want to make sure the word gets out. So we had a huge outpouring of people who wanted to apply, and everyone that applied that was eligible was able to get funding. I'd say about 80%, 90%. So it wasn't everybody. Some people didn't have business licenses and some other technical issues, but mostly everybody that applied was able to get funding. This year, we want to expand it because the first round was so successful. We're going to expect that more businesses are going to apply. So we doubled the amount that we're going to give away. So we want to make sure that it was such a successful program the first time. We want to do it again because it was so successful. And I forgot to mention, it's $15,000 per business is what you could be eligible for, whether you do the capital improvements or employees being hired. So it's a lot of money, and I know it can go a long way, especially for business owners.
What do you have in mind, or what are you working on currently regarding supporting small businesses in general within the city of El Cajon?
Yes, so one big thing is during COVID, we found out that a lot of people like to dine and eat at restaurants outside. And right now our laws don't allow permanent outdoor dining. But we're working through that law, and we're going to look to change it to allow for permanent outdoor dining. People love it, the customers love it, and then it also allows the business owner and the restaurant owner to expand the number of tables they can serve to people, which is going to allow them to have more customers, more business, more revenue. So that's one small thing we're doing that we're getting from feedback from the community. So it's really important that if you have ideas or you have suggestions, to get in contact with me in my office, or let Muhammad know, and we can collect all the ideas and we can discuss them. Because we don't know every business that's out there, and we don't know what your struggles are or what you want to do, but it's against the law, and it could be easy to change the law. So we need your feedback from the community, so we can make everything easier for you and your business is more successful.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Ortiz. And I believe there's something that I would like for my community to know, that residents, they can contact you directly via email or like this. So can you please just state your email address so we can...
Yes, absolutely. I'd love to hear from my residents. My email address is portiz@cityofelcajon.us. portiz@cityofelcajon.us.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Ortiz.
Hi, everyone. For the business grant, as you go through that process, I wanted to mention, so the business license number, or business license, is issued by the city of El Cajon. So it's a rectangle, usually they're green, or there may be some other color when they're posted in your business. The city of El Cajon, there's a lot of portions that are not within the incorporated city, but that are actually lie or situated in the county jurisdiction. And so if you're not sure if you have a business license, if you're in or outside of the city limits, some people don't know. This is what the license looks like. This is just a printout of it, but it'll be the small rectangle, or the rectangular piece of paper. Sometimes it's green, sometimes it's brown, but it should be posted in your business. The business license number is a 6-digit sequence right here. And so that's what you're looking for. If you have a business license that does not look like this, chances are you are not within the incorporated city limits, and so you would unfortunately not qualify for our business grant program. However, there may be some opportunities with the County of San Diego for some business assistance. I just wanted to emphasize that because I don't want you to get too far into the application and then it get kicked back because the business license actually is not issued by the City of El Cajon. So the purpose of this meeting, of course, is to provide a background informational for this round of the El Cajon Business Grant program. And so we're going to walk through some of how to get to the application, how to fill it out. We'll talk about each of the supporting documentations and all the attachments that need to come through, and so that we can make sure that that anyone who fills out the application that meets the qualifications and everything, that they're able to go on right through and not have any issues, if you will, along the way. Okay, so from the homepage of the city's website, we've added a link up here at the top. It's called Business Grant Program Round 2. That's to differentiate it from last summer's business grant program. And so you just click right there and that'll take you to the grant homepage. Okay. And so on this page, it outlines all the information for the business grant. And it's really, really important, I'm going to say first, is that before you begin the application, and we put it right here, is to read all the information on this page. Is really, really important, just so that anyone who's applying, any business owners, that you understand just what's required, I guess, the qualifications, so that we can ensure that, you know, the first time that you submit your application, that we have everything that we already need so that it can just move on to the review. And we've stated in here too as well, only complete applications with all the questions answered and all attachments included will be accepted in one email. So if anything is missing, one of the things that's been happening is that you know, there's one item that's missing, and then so everything else is in the email. And then last summer what happened is that we requested just the one document that was missing, and then all of a sudden there's multiple emails with pieces of different attachments and everything. And so just to keep it cleaner and together, so we do require that it all come together in one email. So the deadline for the application period is August 3rd. That may be extended if funds are still available, but at this time it's the deadline is August 3rd or until funds are remaining. So this grant came from the American Rescue Plan Act, which was passed by the president a few months ago, back in March. And so the City Council for El Cajon designated $5 million towards the second round of the business program. We have two options that are available this time, and business owners may apply for one or both, either option or both. The maximum grant award is $15,000. So if you apply for just A, you can get up to $15,000. If you apply for just B, you can get up to $15,000. If you do both, the total cannot exceed $15,000. So option A is an employee hiring program. This is really to help encourage getting people back to work. And we know that there's been a challenge among a lot of business owners of hiring or rehiring employees. You know, a lot were let go because of the pandemic or laid off. But then we know that with some of the unemployment that's been going out there, that some people are actually preferring to stay there as opposed to go back to work. So this is to help ease the burden on business owners to try to incentivize hiring employees. So for this option, it awards $5,000 per employee that's hired between March 1st of this year and the end of the program, or as long as the program is open or funds are available. The maximum is 3 employees, which gives the total for $15,000, and employees can be hired separately. So if an employee is hired in April or is hired today, And then you fill out the application and you submit for that one employee. And then let's say in July, a second employee is hired or a third employee is hired. You do have the opportunity to hire or to get additional funds, again, up to that $15,000 max.
So Ryan, just one question before you go. So if it's only one employee, the maximum can get for one employee is 5,000.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And we're going to revisit these two as well when we go through the application, the different pages that are respective to option A or option B. So option B, this is a capital improvement program. So this option, as it states here, will reimburse up to $15,000 in funds for capital investments and enhancements made to businesses, which retroactive to March 1st, 2021. That's really the date that we're using, that the City Council established as the threshold for when these improvements or employees could be hired by. And again, I really want to emphasize also that this is a reimbursement. So the items would have to be purchased first, and we'll go into that actually more in just a little bit, but I want to emphasize that it's a reimbursement, and we'll talk about that a lot actually. So the capital investments and improvements include furniture, fixtures, and equipment, or FF&E, and then signage for the business, facade or other exterior improvements, and then also business vehicle enhancements. We do have a $2,500 max per vehicle, and then the business owner must substantiate or prove that the vehicle is used for business purposes. The idea is that it's not used for one's own personal vehicle. And then again, we emphasize that option B is only a reimbursement. So this is the option B, has a lot more detail to it. As you can see, we've outlined the process, the application process. So there's a pre-approval worksheet. So applicants will complete this part of the application, which is page 3. And business owners are encouraged to provide as much detail as necessary to accurately convey the work that's going to be done on the business or what items are going to be purchased. Applicants need to itemize specific furniture, fixtures, and equipment that you plan to purchase, and specific dollar amounts are expected. And then these should be attached to the application. And items that are not specifically mentioned won't be approved for reimbursement. So an example that I have here, if someone just writes a new refrigerator, that unfortunately wouldn't qualify. As this is a reimbursement, so we would need to know what the model is, who the manufacturer is, the cost, including tax, or not including tax, but I mean, we recognize that the tax is a part of a purchase, right? So here it states, so a more appropriate answer would be a new commercial refrigerator manufactured by Acme Refrigerators. That's just a made-up company. Model 598T, which is priced at $5,270.90. I just made all that up. But that's an example of a response that is more appropriate when filling out the application. And then also, if you were to find, online or wherever it may be, if it's Staples or I don't know, it's wherever, you can, let me see if I can, I'm gonna open a new browser, refrigerator, commercial refrigerator. So what I would do if I were applying is I would go and find that website or find that item, and then I would take a screenshot of this and put this into a Word document and all the different things that we're purchasing. So if it's a refrigerator and a desk and a chair and a computer and all this stuff, everything needs to be itemized. That's really, really, really important. Okay, let me head back. Okay. So other projects that require work from a contractor or other outside vendor to perform the work also require an estimate. So if you're going to update the signage that's outside of your business, or add a fence or something like an iron fence or something to go around your business, then this too would require some detail about an estimate or a quote from a contractor, and for the scope of the work done. Some projects do require permits from the city, and these costs, they can be reimbursed as part of the grant, but again, not to exceed the $15,000 maximum. If you don't know if a permit is required for an application or for a project, when the application is submitted, we do confirm that with our community development department to say, hey, does this project from this applicant, does that require a permit? And then when we send this letter back to you that's saying that something is approved, then there'll be a box check that there is a permit required, and we'll provide additional detail about that permitting. So then you'll submit the application. So submit the completed application with all the required attachments. I'll have the list of those in just a moment. And then be sure to include all the supporting documentation. And then for option B, you'll receive a response within 7 days from the city approving what you've submitted, or any comments or any comments, or what may have been denied. And if something is denied, then we'll say why. And then we can have a conversation about that. So the response from the city will detail, here it is, will detail purchases and projects that have been approved, any comments, as well as any special instructions. For example, if there's a permit, this response serves as a guarantee for reimbursements on the items that have been approved from the city. So this is your documentation from the city that that whatever expenses that you are about to incur will be reimbursed by the city. So that's sort of the agreement that's between the two of us. Let's see. And then so for reimbursement, so after all the work is done, and after you've purchased everything and you have all your receipts and everything, so you'll support that and all the supporting documentation after everything has been completed. Emphasizing here, supporting documentation includes all applicable receipts, copies of plans, permit documentation, vehicle information, photos of project completion, etc. All documentation must be submitted in just one single email again. And then reimbursement will be issued promptly once all supporting documents have been confirmed. So at that time, when we receive, when you email us back to the email, when you email us sending in all of the receipts and everything. So what we're going to do on the city side is we're going to go through and make sure, or confirm, I guess, that what was approved on the pre-approval letter matches what was actually purchased. So, and then very, very important, only one payment will be issued for reimbursement under option B. And so that's extremely, extremely important. Just so that, if the FF&E is completed probably faster than any projects that are being done, you want to wait until everything is completed and then submit for your reimbursement at that time. Do you have any questions at this time?
No, I believe we're moving directly to the next question that I want, which is required documents.
Yes. So we'll do qualifications first, then we'll come down to required documents. So for qualifications, businesses or nonprofits are eligible this time. Last time around, it was not open to nonprofits, but this time it is. They must be located within the city of El Cajon's boundaries and possess a city-issued business license with an effective date of March 1st, 2021 or earlier. And then nonprofits must provide additional documentation. Businesses should have between 2 and 25 employees. The owner plus 1 employee is okay. Franchise restaurants and chains are eligible, but national chains are not. There's a few businesses in here where in our city where the business owner has 2 locations in the city. That's okay, but Home Depot, for example, would not be eligible for this program. But they have more than 25 employees. So, and then businesses must have been in business prior to January 1st of 2020. So that's pre-pandemic. So that is meant to say 2020. And then home occupations or home-based businesses are not eligible as per the city council. So basically a business needs to have a storefront here, a commercial location here in the city. So for required documentation, again, it's restated here. In addition to the completed application, the following attachments must be submitted for your application to be considered. 1, it's the driver's license, the business owner's driver's license, a copy of the business license issued by the city, the W-9 IRS tax form. We'll talk about that once we get to the application, where to locate that. The state of California EDD form DE-34 for a hired employee. We'll talk about that when we get to the app. Actually, we'll talk about it now. So when you hire employees in the state of California, one of the requirements that the state has is that they be reported to the state. And so we're looking for a confirmation of that form received by the state. It actually can happen pretty quickly now because of email. And so I'll show you a sample of what that looks like too. And then the pre-approval worksheet, which is the page that outlines all the work that you're going to do on you wish to do on your business. And then we added down here, option B should also include all the attachments that support the dollar amounts requested. And if they're not submitted, then that item will not be considered. Right here is the email of where to submit your applications. Again, the deadline is August 3rd, and then you can click down here to start the application. Have any questions before I continue into the application?
No, I believe you're going to explain about the whole, the DE-34. So we're good. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. I'll pull up that example too as well, or the sample document. Clicking at the bottom of that page takes you to the grant. It's a fillable form. And so I will zoom in so we can see it. All right, so you're going to go through here and you're going to populate your business, my business. And then, so you know, 123 Main Street, El Cajon, fill all this information. You'll input your business license number, the expiration date, the date that it was established. Again, that should be prior to January 1st of 2020. And then you just follow through the prompts. Do you need me to read each of these? Would you like me to, or?
No. Okay. The only thing that, because I'm looking at the application too, is to differentiate between the main page. The page 1 is for both, but page 2 and 3 are for each option.
Exactly. So down here, this is really the meat of it, if you will. So grant request qualifications and details. So is the business located in El Cajon? Yes. If you should reside in San Diego County. The number of employees pre-pandemic right here in 2020. And then the number of employees on March 1st of this year. That tells us how many were let go or laid off. Was your business in violation of any zoning, building, or code violations on March 1st of 2021? Businesses can't have any zoning or code violations or building violations with our community development department. Typically, if you have one, you know you have one. But all of this is verified once the application is submitted with the supporting documentation. All right, so here's where you select which option or that you would like, or if you would like both. So you can select here, click option A, and then you select the appropriate amount for how many business or employees that you've hired. And then option B is the capital improvement program, of course. Here's a little summary from the first page, and then this is going to be the final dollar amount. that you will, the total dollar amount that you're seeking from the city for reimbursement, and you'll derive that from the bottom of page 3. But really, it's going to be from all of your supports for how much you anticipate on things costing. So while we're here at this section, let's go ahead, or this next part right here. Please provide all the following documents. So we're reminding you also to make sure that all your documents are here. So copy of business owner's driver's license, yes. Copy of business license, yes. IRS form, yes. So on the IRS form, we've added a link right here. So if you click right here, it will take you to, and I recommend right-clicking actually. I'm so sorry, because otherwise you will lose everything. That would be unfortunate. So I'd recommend right-clicking and opening in a new tab. That'll take you to an electronic form, IRS form. And you can just fill it in accordingly with your business information and your tax ID number, employer identification number right here. That's important, so because the city has to report also who payments are issued to, and so that's the purpose of the W-9. So let me close that. All right, and then this is the EDD form, so submit it for each employee. We remind you that's part of option A, so if attached, yes, no, or not applicable. So when you click this link, it's going to take you to, again, right click, because it'll take you away from this form and I don't want you to lose anything. So it's going to take you to the EDD form and you will, excuse me, fill out all the information for your employee. There you go. So you can fill this out accordingly. So this is to be submitted to the state, and I'm scrolling down to the bottom because they have some additional instructions that'll help you know what to do with the form. So what we've received a few times from already out the gate is people are submitting, business owners are submitting this form to us, and this is not actually the form that we want. So there's instructions down here at the bottom. Let me see. How to report down here. For a fast and easy, secure way to report your new employee information, use e-services for business. And so you can submit this information online. And so when you click that link, one of these up here, it'll take you to the EDD website. So if I were to click that link, it would have brought you here to this website. And there's information here for how to submit that online. And the confirmation that we're looking for, I have one open right here. This is from another applicant. So you'll get this this confirmation response from the state once you've successfully submitted it. And so this is actually the form that we're looking for when you attach. I know there's been a lot of questions for that, so hopefully we're able to point you in the right direction now. Okay, let me move that out. Okay.
So Ryan, this is only for option A, correct?
Option A, that's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. So if you're only applying for option B and it does not apply to you, then you can click these check boxes here for not applicable. So let's go ahead and move on to option 3. The other attachment that we're seeking is the completed scope of work or pre-approval from page 3. Of course, all the additional documentation. Let's scroll down actually to page 2 since it's first. This is the, for option A, this is the page that you're going to complete for the employees that you've hired. So it says here that the state requires this form to be filled out. And it restates the example that I had that I mentioned earlier. If you hire somebody now and then you hire someone in a couple months. And I just want to say really quick too, that's so long as funds are available. I mean, hopefully they are. If they're not available, that may be a good thing because that means we've gotten them out to the businesses. But if it's prior to August 3rd and we've already expended all the funds to business owners who qualified or whatever, then you may not be able to get that second additional funds under option A. Anyway, so go through here and just fill out your new employee's name. Okay, so on page 3, this is pretty important, very important, I should say. So for option B here, so there's instructions on how to fill out this form. It's kind of a restating of what was on the grant homepage. It's summarized here because there's not a lot of room, but you'll want to definitely refer back to the directions also on the front page or on the grant homepage, just to make sure this form is filled out correctly. It's filled out correctly. So it's pretty straightforward, actually. Here we go.
So Ryan, before we move forward, I have the question, and actually they're related to option B. So what type of like business vehicle enhancements?
So could be something like I know some people or some business have like wraps on their cars, right? You know how wraps are on vehicles. It's got like an image of. I've seen like those. One of the a lot of the plumbing like road.
Oh yeah, the ads.
Yeah, like the ads that are on cars, things like that. Or if you have, that's the best example I got. I'm so sorry. And we encourage business owners to ask questions. And so the email, that businessgrant@cityofElCajon.us, it's on the front page. You're more than welcome to answer or ask questions through there. And our staff here is monitoring that email daily throughout the day. So you should get pretty prompt responses with any questions that you may have. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, so sure. Because I because I know that a lot of questions will come about fixing or doing some upgrades to the car. So I just want to make sure. Yeah. So now we're on option B, application.
Cool. So so put in your business name, your business owner, just in case for some reason they get separated, we know whose business this is. And then on here you'll type in when it works. You'll add in if it's FF&E, then for fixed furniture, fixtures, and equipment. So you'll type in there, chairs or desks, or if you're a cleaner, I don't know, a washing machine. But you'll also, again, it's not. We recognize that that's not a lot of room there, so this will most likely require. Even just for this additional document attachments, just to be able to explain fully. But this is where we're going to outline all that information, and specifically the dollar amount, and how you came up with that dollar amount, which you'll put here in description 1. And then we provided the separate boxes because we want, FF&E to be separated from signage or whatever, just to kind of help process it, or to make it easier to review. Once you total up your 1, 2, and 3, you'll put that number in this box down here, option B. Total estimated request for grant option B down here. And then you'll take that number and you will place that number right here in this box, right here, 12,358 and 20 cents. So, and that would complete option. That's what's required for option B. And I'm gonna again emphasize, this example right here, not just a new refrigerator, but a commercial refrigerator or a refrigerator manufactured by this company. This is the model number. This is how much it costs. And then here is, and then you can take this and you can take a screenshot of it, or I don't know if you need to print it. Something I might do is I might go into, on Windows, we have the snip tool. I would literally take that right there. I would copy that, open Microsoft Word, and this is the beginning of one of my attachments right here. And this is this is the beginning of one of the attachments, and that shows there that the retail price is $4,255.48, most likely plus tax. So you'll want to consider that. and then add up all those different items, and then that becomes one of your attachments. Does that help clarify?
Yeah, sure. Of course, if that's
Awesome.
something with all the details that you need,
Yeah.
instead of estimates.
Another thing, so just for some additional comments, I guess, on furnitures, fixtures, and equipment. It's a hard acronym to say. So I kind of made a little list here of just off the top of my head of what would qualify, just so you have an idea. So chairs, computers, other electrical equipment, conference tables, desks, partitions, pretty much it's stuff that can be taken from, that's not attached to the walls, not attached to the floor of the business. Other things that wouldn't qualify, so flooring, like redoing carpeting or tile, or renovating a restroom inside of a business wouldn't qualify. And there's no like paper goods, so like plates and stuff, that wouldn't qualify. Yeah, so essentially what can be taken from the business. That's an important one. So really, some things I just want to emphasize about this whole process is that it is that detail, and review the instructions. And we have on here, these these questions here. Did you attach it? Yes. Did you attach this one? Yes. Did you attach the IRS form? Did you, for option A, doesn't apply, does not apply, and then option B, attachments. So, and then down here at the end, we have our declarations and the signatures. So you've attached all applicable documents requested in the last section. Yes. You understand that the total award is $15,000 and my business may not receive more than this amount. Yes, we understand that. I understand that as a condition of option A, the city may conduct audits to verify employee status, that the employees that were hired were in fact hired. I understand that the maximum reimbursement for B is $15,000 and any expenses above this amount will not be considered. And then auditing, the city may have to audit in the future, as the city itself is also audited. These funds come from the federal government, and we're subject to audit by them. And so if we're audited, then in turn audits the businesses that they ask about. And then you're declaring that the information is true and correct. That's what I have right now. Do you have any questions for clarification?
Yeah, actually, they're just like last two questions. So basically,
Okay.
We're talking about the option B mainly, which are the furniture, fixture, and equipment. So let's say talking about a furnace for a restaurant or an oven, can that be counted?
We are included. Yes, those would be.
Okay, and how about restaurants who are actually keeping their business outside, which are tents, umbrellas, chairs? Is that included for outside?
Yeah, that would be included.
Okay.
And if any of these purchases have happened, like from March 1st onwards, so since then, prior to the grant being announced or open, then those also do qualify.
Okay, thank you. So
Sure.
The last question will be how the whole thing is going to be submitted. Like the whole thing is going to be in one email sent to the business grants. Business grants. Can you please just speak about this detail of the whole application?
Absolutely. Okay. So once you've finished filling out your application and we've confirmed that we have all the appropriate attachments, then you'll submit that to businessgrant@cityofElcajon.us right here. And so if you're submitting that, Brian's business application, grant application Ryan's business. And so on here, you can just type, I attached my application for the El Cajon business grant. And then here, you'll go and attach everything. And so once this form right here, this form, you can download this form and then so that you can save it. It's probably better to do that anyway so that you're not working online, because again, if you accidentally click somewhere else here, then you end up losing this and you have to redo everything all over again. And so you want to include all those attachments. Some people have taken, it asks for a copy of your driver's license, and that's not an easy thing sometimes to get on. So, but what some people do is they just take a picture with their phone of their driver's license, and then they email that to themselves so that they have the photo electronically, and then they include that as the attachment. It's fine if the IRS form is in the same attachment as the business license, but then we'll look through all your attachments that you've submitted to make sure that each of these items are there. If just one of them is missing, we will actually kick it back to ask you to, we'll let you know which one you're missing, and then to go ahead and obtain those documents. And then once you have that, whatever's missing, then resubmit the application again as if you've never done it before, and then give again this attachment, this attachment, this attachment, and all the appropriate attachments.
So Ryan, yeah, and you suggest that everyone submit every attachment in only one email, not multiple emails.
Yes, because what happened last time around was that, if something was missing, we'd ask for it, and then they would send in a separate email, which is great because we had it. But then when you have, dozens and dozens and dozens of businesses submitting these applications via email, it gets a little overwhelming, if you will. And so and also for audit purposes, it makes it easier. If we're getting audited on a specific business by the government or something, then we have all that in one package. So, and then once you submit, we'll send you, we are processing these applications as they come in, and we'll send you a confirmation. If everything is there, then we'll say, great, your application's been submitted successfully with all the required documentation. Now your application is going to move on to review. And so that's when we'll go through to verify, the zoning issues or whatever, let's say, and the business license, that it's active, and those steps. And then once we have everything that we need, then we'll send you a confirmation letting you know that it's been approved. Option A. So grants for option A will be awarded within 30 days. Will be issued within 30 days of the application submission. So that's enough time so that we are able to process. We're not quite sure yet. I mean, it's the applications, their submissions are starting to pick up, but we're not sure, how many we're going to get at one time. So that's a 30-day window. Option B obviously is a longer window. However, you'll at least get confirmation from the city within 7 days on what is or what's not approved. And so once you have your pre-approval letter back, and again, this pre-approval down here on page 3, that's the actual form that we will say down here, yes, 1's approved, 2's approved, 3 is approved. This is what we will send back to you with our name and our signature here. So you're going to get this form back, and then so that you can go and make your purchases and do what you need to do, and then get ready to submit back to us the receipts and all the other documentation. And then at that point, that's once all that's confirmed, then reimbursement will be issued for the city, again, in just one check.
Okay, thank you very much, Ryan, for all the information and the details. Actually, that's like way detailed information. And I believe everyone who's going to be watching the video will get the whole sufficient information to apply. And the main email address, which is businessgrant@cityofalcohol.us.
That is correct, right there. Right here. Perfect.
Okay. And if they want to contact you, it will be the same email.
Yeah, just send it to that same email. There's several of us, there's a handful of us who are responding to questions, and we're, I would say, quite responsive. And so you can usually get a response within a couple hours. I encourage you all to apply. I'm excited that this is out, that we have this opportunity and these funds to be able to send out to the community to help recover and bounce back from COVID-19 and the pandemic. And you guys have all endured a lot, and we're so happy that so many of you have been able to persevere through it and make it to this time. Things are starting to open up, and so we're so glad that we're in a position now to be able to offer this opportunity again to you all to help your businesses to succeed coming away from the pandemic. So feel free to send us any questions that you have. That email again is that businessgrant@cityofalcohol.us. And then I just encourage you all to really, especially for option B, because that's the heavy one. Lots of ins and outs. Just really read all the information on this page, and so that everything can go through smoothly, and we can process these, and we can help your business.
Thank you very much, Ryan. And I would like to thank you and the City of El Cajon for taking the real steps to do the like a real community outreach and let the community, especially the non-English speakers, know about the project.
Absolutely. And you know, I'm really excited about us connecting, even just over this right now as like a launching pad or a starting for being able to, you know, grow closer, if you will, to being able to make sure that we're not leaving anybody behind and including everyone in the community, so that everyone has the same access, equal access to these opportunities and to the information and to the help that we have. That the city, you know, we're a resource here for the community and the business community and the residents. And so I'm excited about what we have going. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ryan. And we hope to see you again in another city project or program that you would like to let the community know about. اوكي، فهسه سمعنا هاي التفاصيل. طبعا هذا الفيديو هو مخصص للمحاسبين اللي بالمنطقة والأصحاب البزنس اللي يعرفون لغة إنجليزية حتى يساعدون الناس انه يقدمون. لكن هسه دا اقرأ هواي تعليقات، فاللي راح اسويه شنو ان شاء الله؟ اللي راح اسويه انه هاي المعلومات كليتها نحاول انه ننزلها بالعربي، يعني اسوي مختصر عن هاي المنحة باللغة العربية، انه بالضبط طريقة التقديم بالعربي. انا حبيت انه انزل الفيديو بسرعة من جماعة المعلومات من السيتي، من عضو المجلس الحكومي ومن الموظف، حتى انه الناس تستعجل تقدم. وانا اشجع كل جاليتنا، كل واحد عنده بزنس بالكاهون، عنده محل بالكاهون، يا ريت قدموا. المرة السابقة كل الناس اللي قدموا وابليكيشن كانت صحيحة، لان احنا شرحنا الابليكيشن، كل اللي قدموا بطريقة صحيحة كلهم وافقوا عليهم، لان انا اصلا كنت باللجنة. هذه المرة همين اشجع الناس اللي هم عندهم محلات بمدينة الكاهون انه يقدمون هاي المعلومات. هذا الفيديو كامل عندكم، اللي عنده محاسب ممكن ياخذ هاي المعلومات مال هاي الفيديو ويوديها للمحاسب، والمحاسب راح يمشي خطوة خطوة. واللي يريد ينتظر انه راح انزل فيديو الشرح للابليكيشن للتقديم خطوة خطوة للي يريد يقدم هو بنفسه. فاشجع كل جاليتنا اللي بمدينة الكاهون انه احنا لازم انه نقدم على هاي الشغلات، لان الفلوس اذا ما حد قدم عليها راح ترجع تحول الى برامج ثانية ممكن ما تفيدنا احنا كجالية. فلازم انه اصحاب الاعمال كلهم انه يقدمون على المسألة. واي سؤال ممكن انه تسألونا اياه لنا بهاي الصفحة، ممكن على العام، ممكن انه تدزونا رسالة على ايميلنا اللي هي موجود قدامكم على الشاشة. فاني بسبب هواي طلبات قريتها حاليا ان شاء الله راح ارجع أسوي طريقة التقديم، أشرح شوية البرنامج باللغة العربية المبسطة، ونمشي بخطوات التقديم وحدة واحدة. هذا كل اللي عندنا وياكم اليوم. آسفين الفيديو جدا مطول، لكن حبيت أنه أي واحد يريد يقدم عنده كل المعلومات اللي محتاجها للتقديم، وأي استفسار موجود عنده، يا أما أنهم جاوبين عليه حاليا بهذا الفيديو جدا مطول، أو أنه ممكن يتواصل ويا السيتي على مود يسألهم. رجاء 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 قدموا على هذه المنحة. إذا عندكم بزنس بالكاهون، وأي شخص عنده بزنس بالكاهون من جاليتنا، يا ريت أنه تدلوه على هذا الفيديو وتشجعوهم أنه يقدمون، لأن المنحة المبلغ اللي عندهم جدا عالي، وحرامات أنه الفلوس ترجع. جاليتنا نتمنى لكم كل الصحة والسلامة، وإن شاء الله نعبر هاي الأزمة مثل ما حاولنا أنه نوفر المعلومات للناس اللي تأذوا بهاي الفترة، من اللي ما كان عندهم أشغال أو وقفت أشغالهم. نفس الوقت من البداية احنا نحاول ندعم البزنس مال جاليتنا، لأن احنا نجاحنا هو بالبزنس مالتنا. فيا ريت انه تشاركون هذا الفيديو ويا اكثر عدد من الناس، وان شاء الله انه نجيب لكم معلومات اكثر. وهذا الشيء تقريبا وعد عليه انا شخصيا، انه كل المعلومات المهمة بعد ماكو داعي تنضم على جاليتنا لهواي اسباب. قناة امريكا بالعربي هي قناتكم انتم، ان شاء الله هي راح تظل توفر لكم كل المعلومات اللي كان المفروض نعرفها احنا من البداية. هذا كل اللي عندنا اليوم وياكم، واسفين على الاطالة، وإن شاء الله انتظرونا في فيديوهات مهمة أخرى بالمستقبل القريب. نشكركم ونتمنى لكم صحة وسلامة. مع السلامة.